Hello everybody, Bradley here, and the Civ Give draft is tomorrow. I need to find out which civs do I want to ban, which civs do I want to pick, which civs do we not care about, and I thought I would do that with you all at twitch.tv/VanBradley. So this video is me and 70 of you creating this tier list. I know a 2.5 hour video is daunting, but I didn't want to edit it down because then you would miss something, and I don't want you to miss a thing. All of the Civ Give information is in the description below. Otherwise, let's get into the tier list. And I think there's two things that everyone needs to know right off the top. One, we are playing, at least for now, on a continents and islands map, and there's going to be teams. So we are playing with another person on our team, which does mean that some civs that otherwise wouldn't be great on their own might be better in a team environment. Typically in Civ, you spawn next to your teammates. And so typically what will happen is if you have any kind of civs that are really good at early trading with people nearby, if there are any civs that can make use of having an early kind of ally on the map, then that'll increase their value. If there are certain civs that need a lot of space, right, and would not benefit from having a teammate nearby, then that might decrease their value. I think this is making sense. Okay, let's start with Alexander. Now, I want to go through this properly. This is going to take... I scheduled a full stream for this. I expect this to take a couple of hours. So let's start here with Alexander. Alexander, let's go into the game here. Single player, create game. Alexander. My initial thoughts on Alexander are this. Meh pick. He's fine. He's really good at one specific thing. And I think that one thing is made a little bit better by having a teammate. But I think early war in a thing like the Civ Give is just difficult, especially if you have a teammate. The Basilicoi Paides or whatever are fine. The experience is good. The Heteroids are okay. Replaces the Horsemen. That's good to get early on. Hypaspis. I just don't... It's going to get picked. Someone's going to pick Macedon. I think the people want early war. I don't think it's terrible. When conquering a city that is not a free city, receive a Eureka for each encampment or campus. Yeah, like this is just a little too specific. A little too war-focused. And I think in the Civ Give, you just need to be able to get the rest of your empire going. And I think the civs that are able to have... better science and culture early on will just be better in the Civ Give. The other thing to consider, though, is that we're not playing with better balanced start on. There's no mods other than the spectator mod. So I don't know if that... Yeah, I don't know. Meh. I'm going meh. Someone will pick it. I might pick it. I don't hate it, but it's meh. I don't really care. I guess that's a whole separate thing. It's just kind of there. Moving on. Nubia. 20% production towards all districts. I mean, this is automatically fantastic. So we're already great. And we haven't even got to the rest of this stuff. 40% if there's a Nubian pyramid adjacent to the city center. That's really good. That's really good in a multiplayer game. Production awards ranged units, 50% combat experience. Also great for defense, right? There's a lot of civs like that. Maya's one of them. Vietnam's another one that just have really good early defense, which is great against the real-life human-brained players, which is not great against the AI, so that's good. Mines over strategic resources provide +1 production. That's fine. Gold is great. Paititi archers are fantastic. Patati archers. A Nubian unique ancient era unit, so great to have in the ancient era. Places the archer stronger than the archer with extra movement. Upgrades to a crossbowman. Nubian pyramid improvement that unlocks masonry and must be built on desert. That unlocks with masonry. Desert hills, or floodplains. Or floodplains is interesting. +2 faith and 2 food. Receives additional units from adjacent districts. I'm in on Nubia. I think Nubia is definitely pickable. I don't think we're going to ban Nubia. Other people might ban Nubia, right? This isn't about what other people are going to do. Other people might ban Nubia. I don't think there's a world in which I ban Nubia. But I think there's a world in which I definitely pick Nubia. So I think we're there. Gaul. I mean, okay, we romped as Gaul last year. I don't want to toot my own horn, but we absolutely destroyed as Gaul. I am very well practiced on it. I would love to pick it again. I think it might get banned. I think Gaul is good enough to go up in the ban list. After playing it last year, Gaul is very, very, very good at specifically the things that are good in the Civ Give. For those of you who might not be very familiar with Gaul, Gaul Ambiorix here is just really, really, really good. Culture equal to unit cost is great. It's okay early game, but early game is when it's at its best, so that's great. Melee, anti-cav, range units receive 2 combat strength. That's fantastic, especially once you unlock all your support bonuses and whatnot for being adjacent to your own units, so that's great. Mines provide minor adjacency bonuses is fine. The Opidum is just super OP. Districting is a little hard with Gaul, but you can just get 3 mines and immediately leap to Opidums and just own every great engineer. You also just own every great engineer in the game. I just think Gaul is fantastic. So we're putting Gaul. I think there's a world in which we ban Gaul, and we definitely want to pick him if he's available. Moving on. Basil. Basil's interesting because I think you kind of need a great prophet to do what you're trying to do with him. Heavy and light cavalry units do full damage against cities following the same religion as Byzantium. Right? So what you need to do, here's the process of how this works, is you need to get a great prophet, which is not guaranteed, but there's going to be like 6 or 7 of them on a huge map with 12 players. Right? 5 of them, there's going to be enough great prophets, and not everyone's going to go for them. Right? So you'll probably get a great prophet if you're going for it. But spreading the religion is pretty hard. However, because it's a team game, you're either at war with a full team or you're not. So if you're spreading it to a team... Happy not Thanksgiving? Yeah, it's not Thanksgiving in Canada today. Thanksgiving's in October for us. I didn't even realize it was American Thanksgiving until this moment. I apologize to my American friends. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope y'all are having wonderful dinners and stuff. I think turkey is the dinner of choice. The Tagmas are good. Medieval era is a great time to pop off. Places the knight. The Hippodrome is interesting. A district unique to Byzantium replaces the entertainment complex, provides 3 amenities. Amenities are harder to come by in a multiplayer game when the AI just doesn't trade them to you. Heavy cavalry unit. I think that there's not a world in which I ban Basil. I think he's a meh pick for me. For me, he's a meh pick. I'm not a fan. I don't really want to play him. I definitely don't care. He's definitely fine. But I would much rather have Nubia. I'd much rather have Gaul. And I don't think I'm going to ban him. So he doesn't go into ban and don't pick if available. Yeah, that's the thing, is I think he's great and just loses a little bit in a team game and loses a little bit in a multiplayer game with humans. Batriu is right up there. Ban and pick if available. Vietnam is incredible for these types of multiplayer games. The only problem might be is the woods, marsh, and the early woods, marsh, and rainforest spawn might be awkward. But you can plant woods pretty early to overcome that. The fans make you almost indestructible. And the fact that these encampments don't cost a district slot and give you culture is incredible. And so you just get free encampments. They don't give you great generals, but that's fine. You are almost impossible to take over. Vietnam is great in a team game as well, because you can build your Void Chens and send them to fight you the battles with your with the other 2. Because if you're at war with 1 player, you're always going to be at war with 2. Right? And so you're always going to be at war as a team or not at all. And I just think Vietnam is SSS plus tier for this type of thing. And for me, like, this is my style of gameplay in the Civ Give. Maybe other people would rank her slightly lower, but immediate up with Gaul in the S tier. Pour moi. This is going quicker than I thought. We're already 5 in. There's like 56 of these or something. So there we go. Catherine. I always undervalue Catherine. This is Black Queen Catherine. 1 level of Diplo visibility greater than normal is fantastic. And I always undervalue this, so that's really good. I believe that has combat strength implications too. I think that's isn't that what makes Genghis Khan so powerful? Is you get the early trade route and then you get the visibility. I could be wrong. We'll remember that when we get to Genghis Khan. The thing you have to remember about these civs is, like, it doesn't matter how good you are at this game. You can only play 1 civ at a time, and there's like 56 civs, and so you kind of forget what each civ does. Yeah, it's 3 combat strength. That's right. And so this is very, very good. Spying, I think, is not hugely messed up, by being in a multiplayer match because there's so many cities and not everyone's gonna have 12 spies defending each city. And most people's spies will be defending their Pingala because Pingala is just so crucial to so many strategies that I think most players will not. Have I played through all the new civs? I played through 3 of them. I played Caesar, Abe, and Nzinga. Abe and Nzinga are so good. Caesar's fine. Caesar's okay. Caesar has a fun feedback loop, but I don't think it's very good on deity at least. But has a fun feedback loop. It's very fun to play. And then I haven't played the other one yet. Grand Tour, production roads, medieval, Renaissance, and industrial era wonders. There's a lot of good wonders in this game. This really depends on, like, if you have Gaul in your game, this is a little more irrelevant, but you might not be going for the same wonders. The other thing to remember about wonders is the Civ game has 12 players in it, right? And so you just have more people going for the wonders. So the wonders are just a little harder to get in general. I don't think the tourism from the wonders in any era is going to make a massive difference to, like, a culture victory. The chateaus are fine. I like chateaus. I think this is the thing that I undervalue every time. Guard Imperial is fine. Yeah, I don't think I'm... Man. I don't think I will ban Catherine. I would definitely pick Catherine. I would rather have Catherine than these two. So far the tier list is working. I don't think I'd ban Catherine. But I would definitely pick Catherine. So I think that's fine. I don't care. I don't even need to. We'll look at it anyway, but I just don't care about magnificent Catherine. Improved luxury resources adjacent to theater square districts or chateaux. This is just, now I will say, at least provisionally, it seems like we're going to be on a map that has abundant resources. So these might be more available. So I think this might be better than normal. But improved luxury resources adjacent to theater square districts or chateaus, like, that's just too specific. I'm out. It's not how I want to play. So even if other people value this higher, it's really not how I want to play. I don't care about the court festival. Yeah, no, I'm out. I'm out on Magnificent Catherine. I don't. What am I doing? I simply do not care. If other people care, that's great. Can I delete this? This is bothering me. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Cool. Chandragupta! Someone picked Chandragupta last year, which is exciting. The other thing, too, is like 12... I think 12 bans is too many. I think people want to see the good civs. I think 10 was pushing it. I don't think 12 bans is too many in that it doesn't leave enough civs left. There's more than enough civs left to pick. I think 12 is too many of the good ones going. I think... Anyways. I think 6 or 7 bans. I think if each team got to pick a ban and get rid of, like, the 6 most overpowered ones, I think the Civ Give would have a much more fun time stealing civs and stuff. I think if you got through the 6 most OP civs, got them out of there, and then everything else was on the table, you'd have a much better time with the draft, and things would get way crazier, and the votes would be way crazier too. So I wouldn't be surprised if some people throw away their bans on Magnificence Catherine, just to avoid having to ban 12. I think banning 12 of the best civs is too many. I wouldn't be surprised if some people, myself included maybe, depending on how the bans are going, decide to ban, like, Magnificence Catherine just to keep more of the really fun civs open. Because I think keeping more of them open raises more money. I think it raises more money from stealing. I think it raises more money from the votes to, like, tilt the wheel percentages. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Right now, I think we're banning 12 civs, though. But I wouldn't be surprised if some of them get thrown. Like me banning French Eleanor, for instance. Can declare a war of territorial expansion. 2 movement and 5 combat strength for the first turn. This might be okay. What made Lincoln great? That the free units, man. The free units. You just get a ton of free units that have extra combat strength and don't cost you resources or money. Like, anytime you're just getting free awesome units, and like the man at arms just get you so far ahead that you can always keep on the next melee unit. And then I don't know if it's intended or not, but at the moment you can switch between the different power plants to keep getting free melee units. So it's just fantastic for that. Follower belief bonuses. Stepwells are interesting. I'm less high. The Varus are good, I think. I don't care about Chandragupta. I don't know why I keep exiting the screen. Other people might care. I'm not banning Chandragupta, and I don't really want to play Chandragupta, so don't care. I think he's better than this. I think he is like actually a better civ than this, but I just don't really want to play him, so don't care. Other people will probably care though. That's okay. Cleo is okay. Cleo's fine. Your trade routes to other civs, other civilizations. Now I don't know how the team aspect works. Does anyone in chat know? I don't play in teams often. I think if you are in teams, the other person still counts as another civ. So this might be better because you'll always have another civilization nearby to trade with. I think this might be mutually beneficial. I think your other player can really help you with this. So I think this might be boosted by having a teammate. Trade routes to other civs provide +4 gold for Egypt. Other civs trade routes to Egypt provide +2 food for them. I think this is a feedback loop for teammates. I think this is a super fun feedback loop for teammates. They might not spawn close to you. I do have a hard time believing, because like there's a spectator on the map that can see the whole map. I have a hard time believing they'll push through a map where the teams aren't together. If the teams aren't nearby to each other, there's no real point in doing it. Like what would make it interesting is if everyone had teammates nearby. I don't think they'll push through a melee. Let's say I'm on a team with Sassy Gamer Lady, and one of us is way over here, and one of us is way over here, and then like in between us is 2 full teams who are just gonna bully us. I don't think that map gets put through. So I think there's more likely than not you end up next to your teammate. I think this is hilarious. I think this is a fun feedback loop for teammates. I think it's more likely than not that you'll get put next to each other. So I think this is fun. Production awards districted in wonders if placed next to a river. Almost certainly going to be lots of rivers on the map. So that's great. Chariot archers are good. Sphinx are fine. I like this. Faith and culture and to appeal. Yeah, I don't think she's OP or anything, but I think this feedback loop is super fun. I think the feedback loop is super fun. I would definitely pick Cleo just for the fun feedback loop. Cyrus. I think Cyrus got nerfed in the last, like a year ago now, but in that last kind of Frontier Pass patch. 2 movement for the first 10 turns after declaring a surprise war on a major civilization. Cool. Loyalty per turn in the occupied cities with the garrison unit. Great. Declaring a surprise war only counts as a formal war. Satrapies. Only the appeal got nerfed. Okay. Trade route capacity with political philosophy civic. Receive 2 gold and 1 culture for routes between your own cities. Roads being a level more advanced are super clutch. You're all good, TGM. You're fine. I do want to find the person responsible for getting Earth Goddess nerfed, though. I feel like that was Peppermint Butler. Nerf Goddess is just not as fun as it used to be. I think in a multiplayer game, I've played a few multiplayer games on the Civ show, and every time I wish my roads were more advanced. And so I think this is better. Immortals, I think, are great. And Paradises, I think in a multiplayer game, I'm not going to care about the appeal quite as much. Culture and 2 gold, 1 appeal. Culture for each adjacent holy site and theater square. Those are things I want to build. Gold for each adjacent commercial hub and city center. I don't think I'd ban Cyrus, but I would pick Cyrus. This is a fun little list of civs here. I don't think I'm banning Cyrus. Dido, if you get the right spawn as Dido, she's busted, and if you don't, it's fine. Right? Like, Dido's one of the first ones where, like, the level you get is really dependent on the map. The loyalty for, I believe it's loyalty for all of your coastal cities on the same continent. And you can move your capital, the same continent as your capital, and you can move that capital if you need to, which is probably not necessary. Trade route capacity for each government plaza build. Yeah, this is busted in a multiplayer game. Get your government plaza, you get all those trade routes, you can build the biremes, you can get all those early settlers in your Kothons. Even if you get 3 or 4 coastal cities as Dido, and also if you're next to a teammate, your teammate can kind of help make sure that they don't take the land away from you. If you're next to a teammate, you're not going to be fighting for as much of this coastal area, I don't think. Because you'll be able to talk to your teammate and come up with a strategy. Dido's in the ban pick for me. There's a world in which I ban Dido, and she's fantastic. And so good on a team, too. So good on a team with these trade routes. Yeah. I don't know if I'm overvaluing this, but Dido's up. Okay, the Eleanors. Okay, well, We know that French Eleanor is going up there. We'll talk about her in a minute. I'm not picking French Eleanor, I don't think. Although, if it raised a ton of money, I would pick. If someone was in chat and was like, "VB, I'll drop $500 if you pick French Eleanor," because we're each picking 3 civs, and so it's not like you automatically play the ones you pick. You'll play one of them. But if someone said, "Hey, third pick, French Eleanor is available," I'll put it in the pool. That'd be interesting. English Eleanor, I think, is bad for this kind of game. Because if you're next to your if you're next to your teammate, you're not going to be court of loving nearly as much. I think actually both Eleanors are very bad in a team kind of game like this. Workshop of the World is interesting. The Royal Navy Dockyard is interesting. Removes movement penalty. Movement for all naval units built in the dockyard is quite good. Continents and islands, there's lots of map to explore. Gold and 4 loyalty per turn. When built on a foreign continent, I'm not confident. Sea Dogs are great. I like Sea Dogs. I think there's going to be a lot of war on teams. And so I think there will be a lot to pillage with a Sea Dog. Iron and coal mines, 2 more resources per turn. That can be handy. That's like enough for you and your teammates. So you can do some resource trading there. 100% production towards military engineers. Those are fine, but only way later. Yeah, I don't care. If someone else picks her, go for it. I'm not picking her. Quick Civ Give question. You know if the teams are going to be in their own voice call? I think so. I mean, I would be shocked if not. I would be absolutely shocked if they were not in their own voice call, because then what's the point? Like, I'm a person just in life in general. Like, if you pick a direction, you got to stick with that direction. So if you're going to have teams in the Civ Give, you have to really lean into that and make that as great as possible. And I think that only becomes great if people are chatting with their teammate. I think it's mandatory. I think that's a mandatory thing. I think you have to be able to chat with your teammate. French Eleanor, I might ban her just because I hate her. I actually, you know what? I might throw a ban at French Eleanor just because I think 12 civs is too many to ban. If everyone actually bans like the 12 best civs in Civilization, I think that ruins so many of the fun civs from the game. And so I think I'm not picking her. She's terrible. I think both Eleanors are equally bad in this kind of game setup. And 2 on continents and islands. Like, let's say there's you even run out of people whose cities to flip. Right? Like, it's not like if it was a Pangaea and you can kind of infinitely flip cities, that would be even better. Yeah, no, bad. We're not picking her, but we might ban her for fun. I'm on a 2-year streak of banning French Eleanor, so who knows what I'll do. Germany. I don't know if anyone remembers Peppermint Butler from the first Civ Give. Germany has not lost pace. Germany is just as good as it ever was. Frederick Barbarossa. Additional military policy slot, great. Combat strength when attacking city-states, fantastic. Especially because we're not playing with better balanced start, so the city-states will be sitting in the middle of everything. Get rid of them. Each city can build 1 more district than usual. Absolutely critical. Like, that's so good. The U-boat sucks. But the Hansa, a district unique to Germany for industrial activity, replaces the industrial zone district. This is so good that TGM would build them. That's how good this is. Right? And so 2 production bonus for each adjacent commercial hub. It's just busted. It's just so good. Aqueduct, canal, and dam, plus 1 production bonus for each adjacent resource. I just think this is all great. I don't think anyone is going to have Freddy in any tier but this one. I don't think there's another option tier for Freddy. He's that good. All right, Gandhi. I wasn't a fan of Chandragupta, so let's see what we got going here. So this is all the same, and I didn't hate this, but I didn't love it. I think it's more that I just don't want to play them. +5 faith for each civilization, including India, that have founded the religion and is not currently at war. Okay, that's just automatically terrible, because there's going to be lots of war. That's kind of the point. Opposing civilization received double the war weariness for fighting against Gandhi. That's an interesting, like, defensive mechanism to kind of make the other teams have poor yields from war weariness. But there's better, like Vietnam. Vietnam has, like, defensive capabilities that just... It is amazing defensively. But that's what I mean. Like Vietnam or Maya have great defensive options that progress you forward at the same time. I think I don't care. I think I don't care. Other people can have fun with that. I don't really care. Genghis, I got in that multiplayer event we played when I had Rome. I got bamboozled because I forgot about the trade route trading post play for the Diplo visibility combat strength bamboozle. So I forgot about that one time. I won't make the same mistake again. I mean, everyone knows what Genghis Khan does. All cavalry class units gain 3 combat strength and a chance to capture defeated enemy cavalry class units. That last part is fine, but this first part is fantastic. When you're playing in a game without the deity bonus, like everyone will have the same combat strength, +3 is bonkers. That's good. Starting a trade route immediately creates a trading post in the destination city. This can be super helpful if you're trading like through your teammate to the next person, because trading posts extend the trading range. So that's great. Receive Diplo visibility for possessing a trade route in any... Yeah, this is great. That's another +3. So you're already kind of up +6 already. But just they have to instantly declare war on you the second they see you for you to not get a trade route to them. Which also might be a problem separately. All Mongolian units double the usual combat bonus for having a higher level of Diplo visibility. So it's +6. Yeah. You just kind of instantly get +9 unless they immediately declare war on you. Keshiks are great. We love Keshiks here. A building unique to Mongolia grants an ability that gives +1 movement for heavy and light cavalry trained in the city. That obviously synergizes really well. I don't think I'll ban Mongolia because I kind of want Mongolia to be in the Civ Give. But I would definitely pick Mongolia. Gilga, bro. Man, I desperately want Gilgamesh to be good. Like, I desperately want Gilgamesh to be a good Civ, and he's just not. He's just not a good Civ. And that sucks. When at war with a common foe, they and their allies share pillage rewards. That's a good teamers thing. Now, I do have a question. Does being on a team automatically make you allies from turn 1? I don't have enough experience with teams to know that. Because do you still have to wait till you culturally unlock? Yeah, you still need civil... What's it called? Yeah, okay. So this isn't like from turn 1. Okay, that's less good then, but still fine. Shared combat experience is good. Alliances gain alliance points for being at war with a common foe. That's great. Although the alliance points are less helpful because you already have all the vision and stuff. Combat strength against units of players at war with you and your ally. Gilgamesh is a good team player in this sense, where it's like if Gilgamesh is paired with Genghis for something, that's better. So I don't think this changes how I feel about him because I don't know who my teammate's gonna be until after everyone is picked, right? So I can't get together with my teammate early on and figure this out. But I think this is making me not care. I think this is meh. Yeah, this is fine for barbs. War carts are fine. It's the ziggurats I don't really like because you end up needing to get rid of all your ziggurats to put down literally anything else later. And so this just doesn't synergize very well, but the war carts are interesting. And I also think too that you have to remember, like, there is a certain level of respect given in the Civ Give that no one's going to get absolutely murdered on turn 2. Right? Like everyone wants everyone to get into the game. So I suspect everyone will get like the first kind of ancient era without getting murdered, which immediately diminishes the usefulness of a war cart. Yeah, you're right about the military alliances. I'm just thinking about how long the game is going to be. Right? Like if you're not even getting that till halfway through the game, then by the time you're getting that, unless you automatically get a level 3 alliance with a teammate, I'm just not sure exactly how that works. I think... Yeah, no, the only mod we're playing with is the spectator mod. So no better balanced start, no better balanced game. That'll hopefully solve some of the problems we had last year with connections. We're using like a connection LAN system that seems to be working. It works when I'm on the Civ show at least. And a no mods thing. So I think this is fine. I don't care. But I think Bose will care. I don't think I care. I hope I don't care. Because I don't. But I don't think it's actually that bad. But I don't care. Guitarja, naval unit. Guitarja's quite good. Guitarja's underrated, I think. Purchase with faith. Being able to purchase anything with faith is a huge deal. Because if you don't have a religion, there's not a ton else to spend your faith on without heroes and stuff. So, and great people, you're not going to often be able to snag them with faith. Because if you have that much faith, you probably have a religion, so it won't be a game breaker. 2 faith to city centers that are adjacent to coast or lake tiles, that's fine. Early Pantheon is great. Especially like this doesn't scale, or this doesn't scale. So on online speed, you're getting your Pantheon real quick with this. Right? Because normally it's 2 per turn, you gotta get to 25, and it's less on a quick game or an online speed game. Coast and lake tiles provide minor adjacencies to holy site campuses, industrial zones, theater squares, amenities from entertainment to each entertainment complex. That's fine. Zhongs are great. Zhongs are super good, and kampungs are great. +1 production, +1 housing, +1 food for each adjacent fishing boat. Additional production, housing, and tourism as you advance through the tech and civics tree. Yeah, I'm not banning Guitarja. I don't know if I'm definitely picking Guitarja, though. I'm going to go Met Pick. Met Picks are like my second or third picks. This is my first pick. So this is my first pick if they're available. Assuming they're not available, this is what I'll pick first. And these are my second and third picks. I think Guitarja fits in nicely there. Certainly better than these. I think. All right. While we're here, though, keep in mind, we are raising money for the Civ Give right now. We're at $680. I'm hoping to get that to 1,000 by the draft. So if you did want to donate, !Civ Give donate in the chat. Anything helps. It's all going to Gamers Outreach, which is a great charity. So $1, $5, $10. There's no amount of money too small for you to feel like you're making a huge difference. So whatever you got is super helpful. There's also merch available, !Merch in the chat. I'm wearing it right now. It's super comfy. About half of that money that you spend on the merch goes to charity. So if a shirt costs like $24, about 12 and a half of that is going to charity, which is super nice. And there's stickers and stuff too that you can get, and it's all fun. We've already got about $100 US to donate. You're flabbergasted by your Indonesia classification. Where are you putting it, TGM? It's also a playstyle and a map thing, right? Like, yeah. Are you putting it here? It's definitely a pick. It's definitely a pick. How do you donate to the Civ Give? There you go, Nulrog. Yeah, I'm going to keep it here. I'm going to keep it here because I want to do my own little tier list here. And the whole point is that other people will value things differently. I do just want to be on the record that I did hover between these two. Is that safe to click on? That's not Anvar sending me that link. I promise you it's safe to click on. If it's not, then someone, Anvar, has bamboozled me. All right. We're moving on. Can I get back to the game, please? Cool. Gorgo! Thermopylae. The battle at Thermopylae is one of the coolest... Is that Thermopylae? Man, now I'm gonna ruin... Thermopylae is the battle at Thermopylae that I'm thinking of. Yeah. If you're not familiar with the Battle of Thermopylae, one of the coolest historical battles that you can research on. It's great. Anyways, Gorgo. Combat victories provide culture equal to 50% of the combat strength of the defeated unit on standard speed. So I don't know exactly how that scales, but that's fine. Combat strength for every military policy slot slotted. I think this is good because you can combine with your teammate where you can go for the more military focused slots. And if you pair Gorgo with someone who's better at the other, like the gold and green policy slots, you can kind of team up to make it so you losing out on one of the policy cards. I mean, you also get the extra wildcard policy slot anyway. And it doesn't need... It can be a military policy slotted into a wildcard slot. Right? But I still think my point is the same, is that having a teammate helps mitigate some of the losses. Because I think the yellow... We have a Civ Give donation. Yeah, $20. That's $700 going to Gamers Outreach. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Get those donations in. It's going to be a party. The Civ Give is going to be a party. Gamers Outreach is going to be great. I've met the people at Gamers Outreach. They're fantastic. Much love to them. All right. Yeah, because I think the yellow cards are typically the best ones for like the most well-rounded game. But any combat strength on a game with human players is worth having, and I think this really helps mitigate it, and so does having a teammate. Hoplites, anti-cav units. Anti-cav units I think are bad. I think melee units are super great in a multiplayer game. I also think people love, like, I think real players will make more cavalry units than the AI do. So having an anti-cav unit is great. Plus 10 combat strength if there's one adjacent hoplite. Like, this can stack up real fast. So I think this is fantastic. And then the Acropolis is great. It has to be built on hills, right? Can only be built on hills, yeah, but this is fantastic. Plus 1 envoy when completed. Culture bonus. Yeah, you know what? Culture bonus for each adjacent district and additional, yeah, culture bonus for city center. I think that Gorgo is fantastic and even better in a team. I'm putting Gorgo in the potential. This is my lowest tier pick of all of these, but I think there's a world in which I ban Gorgo if that comes up. I don't know if I want to give another team of really competent Civ players Gorgo. But is Gorgo better than Nubia though? Like, is this realistic? Right? Like, do I actually want to ban Gorgo more than I'd ban Nubia? Why do I feel this way? I feel like I'm feeling a way that I shouldn't feel. Why do I want to bang Gorgo? Sorry, Nasal. It's not what I meant. That's very funny though. Why do I want to do this? This doesn't feel correct to me. Like, I feel like I should be swapping this. Oh, cathartic. Okay, my bad. Sorry, everyone. Sorry. I did not mean to make this a strange stream. I certainly meant to say ban. All right, let's move her. Let's move her down here. Let's move her down here. I think there is a world in which I ban her. The other thing too is if we don't come up with at least 12 people here, naturally we're gonna have to move some of these up because we need, like, if we're the 12th ban, 11 bans are gonna go before us. Right? So we kind of have to have 12 people here. Although I have mentioned I might, depending on how the draft goes, if too many of the good civs are getting banned, I might chuck my ban away just to keep more good civs in the game, which is just more fun to watch and raise money for. But yeah, if we don't end up with 12 here naturally, we have to, like, start moving people around. That's cool. I mean, need I say more about Babylon? Every time I play or watch someone play Babylon, my tier rating goes up and up and up and up and up and up, especially on a team too. There's just no punishment. If you have a teammate that can help defend you, there's no punishment for kind of going over all of your boosts and stuff and just doing your own thing. I think this is great. The one thing I will say about Babylon is I think it scales more poorly on a online speed game because you have less time to get all those boosts, right? Like, the boosts don't change, but the game time is shorter. And so not every boost scales properly, right? So let's say you need the boost. What's a good science boost that's a good example of this? I'll use a culture boost, which is a bad example because that's not what's happening here. But let's say the culture boost to build 6 farms, right? So you have a boost to build 6 farms, and that boost auto unlocks the thing. Well, in an online speed game, it still takes 6 turns to build 6 farms, but that 6 turns is a higher percentage of the game than in a standard speed game. And so not every boost scales the same way. The boosts where you have to produce things scale a little bit because your production scales. You share you share boosts? Surely they don't. So you share the boost, but you don't share the unlock, right? So if I boost something, the other person gets it boosted, but they don't get it unlocked, right? I mean, either way, it's in the ban tier for sure. I would be surprised if it gets through without that. The rest of this is whatever, but it really is the boost, the auto boost there. That's not even this. It's this one. It's this one. We have a Civ Give donation. You share text completely. Yeah, it's automatically Eureka for the other player. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, Babylon is still in this tier, though. Babylon is absolutely still in this tier. That was another donation. Now I gotta open the thing. I didn't catch it. 720 bucks raised for Gamers Outreach. Man, I just want to say I love that Team VB shows up to these charity events. There's never been a charity event I've been a part of where y'all didn't just show up. That's great. Catharsis, thank you so much for the 20. I appreciate you. Gamers Outreach appreciates you. We're sending video game carts to hospitals, baby, and it's glorious. Okay, we might have to do... I mean, I think it's getting banned anyway. We might have to do some research on really how OP he is. Now, Harold. Here's the thing with Harold. Let's talk about Harold. Because... here's the thing. On a continents and islands map with lots of war, you can really do some damage to people. Right? So you don't so here's the thing. Harold is a great team player. Let's say you have Harold with Vietnam, with Germany, with one of these like super scaling civs, right? You pair Harold with a super scaler, right? Let's say I'm on a team with Peppermint Butler. I'm on a team with Peppermint Butler, and we're trying to win as a team. Obviously, our strategy is for Peppermint Butler, he's going to try and win the game. I'm going to try and cause a ruckus with everyone else so they don't win the game. And in that sense, I think Harold is great for that. Right? On a continents and islands map, you're going to have lots to pillage, and if you don't have lots to pillage, just your existence makes people have to change their strategy, right? If you exist, people are going to be less likely to build districts on the coast. They're going to be less like they might have to change their strategy around just your existence, which can be very helpful. So I think Harold is kind of the ultimate team player for a hyper-scaling civ. Right. Coastal raiding, production awards, naval melee units, science. Yeah, like the pillaging stuff we all know about. We can enter ocean tiles earlier, which is super great for discovering all the wonders and seeing the entire map. Longships are great. The rest of this is fine. I don't think this is his actual rating, but he's a second or third pick for me. He's the ultimate team player. I don't think there's a world in which you win the game as Harold, but I certainly don't care. If I'm on my second or third pick and Harold's available, I'm putting that in the pool. And I think people would donate money for that. Yeah, it's fun to be ornery without necessarily rallying people full stop. I think Harold can cause a lot of damage. I don't think he's a definitely pick for like my first pick, but I think he's a second and third pick that I would absolutely take. I think TGM had Japan last year, and I think Japan is fantastic. I think in a multiplayer game, just being able to get all of the extra district bonuses can be very, very helpful. You don't share text, but you share boost. I mean, still very powerful. Yeah, I mean, I think having your own districts give each other more bonuses and more adjacency bonuses is super powerful. It just really hedges against so many things that could happen in the game. And I think having a teammate really mitigates against a bad spawn. And so you'll just have, even if you have a bad spawn, you'll have more time. Like your teammate can like help you out a little bit to give you a little more time to get your districts up and running to catch up. And I think Magi Restoration is fantastic. Samurais are fine. This Divine Wind is a hilarious ability. Land units receive +5 combat strength in land tiles adjacent to coast, which is great on a continents and islands map. Naval units receive +5 combat strength in shallow water tiles. Fantastic. Encampment and Holy Satan Theater score districts in half the time. Fantastic. Units, here's the fun part. Units do not receive damage from hurricanes. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, that's the ability we're picking Japan for. I think Japan is very powerful. It's going up in that ban tier. I would ban Japan and pick if available. I still don't know if this kind of perfectly makes sense. I would absolutely ban Japan. So I think that's going, and I would absolutely pick Japan. So that's great. Jadwiga, Jadwiga, Jadwiga. People like Jadwiga. People like seeing Jadwiga be played. I like playing Jadwiga. Poland's majority religion becomes the dominant religion in cities that lose a tile to a Polish culture bomb. That's a little too specific. It's a little too specific. If only Spain had that ability as well. Oh, that's funny. Holy sites gain major faith adjacency bonus from adjacent encampments. Interesting. All relics provide 2 culture. That's fine. That's okay. Culture bomb adjacent tiles when completing an encampment or fort. This is great. 1 military policy slot in the current government is converted to a wild card slot. Fantastic. Winged hussars are interesting. Renaissance era unit replaces the cuirassier, pushes defending enemy units back from their hex in any battle where they score more damage. Defenders that cannot retreat suffer additional damage. I think this is a great team player civ. I don't think you win the game as Jadwiga, but I think you can be a team player with Jadwiga. A building unique to Poland. International trade routes from the city gain. Now, international, does that mean to your teammate as well? I think it might. I think international means to your teammate as well. So I think any of these buildings where like international is involved, I think your teammate counts. I would pick Jadwiga. I don't know if Jadwiga is my first pick, but I'm picking Jadwiga. Maybe meh pick. Here, I won't pick meh. Second or third pick. Here, I'm changing these categories. Second or third pick, first pick. We have to pick 3 civs. That way these can be different levels of good. Yeah, teammate is international trade partner. I thought so. So I think here is great. The Khmer. Man, the Khmer are good. Or the Khmer. I think it might be pronounced the Kubai. Holy sites are granted the major adjacency with rivers, a culture bomb, food equal. Yeah, I think, you know what? Everyone knows how good Khmer is. And I think having a teammate only makes him better. 6 faith. A building unique to Khmer replaces the temple required to purchase apostles and inquisitors with faith. 0.5 culture for every population. The city scales super well with all this food. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Not a surprise, but Khmer is bannable. Khmer is absolutely bannable. Perfect. Australia. It'd be super fun to put Australia with Genghis Khan, where people just have to declare war on you, so you can just get your bonus over and over again. 100% production if they have either received a declaration of war or liberated the city in the past 10 turns. That's great. Super good on a online speed game. Makes a lot of things just 1-turn builds. 3 housing on coastal cities. Fantastic. Fantastic in a continents and islands game. Pastures trigger a culture bomb. Great. Yields from campuses, commercial hubs, holy sites, and theater squares are +1 in tiles with charming appeal. +3 in breathtaking. This is something you can work around. Even if it's only good once or twice, it's great. The diggers are fine. They're modern era units, though, so let's not worry too much about them. The Outback Station is fantastic because it helps you build on tiles that are otherwise unplayable. Built in desert hills, grassland, and plains tiles. I think these Outback Stations are great. Their food, their production. Food for each adjacent pasture which you want to build. I'm hovering here. I think Australia is super good on a continents and islands map with a teammate. Australia is one of my first moves up if we don't hit 12 here. But I think he might be a first pick. Portugal is in. Portugal's in. I don't know. I didn't make this. Oh, Portugal's here. Portugal's right here. Yeah, the only ones that aren't here are the new leader civs. A, because this tier list just hasn't been updated yet. And B, because I'm not exactly sure how they're going to work. It seems like they might be pickable but not bannable, which makes perfect sense to me. But we'll see. Because I think Abe and Zynga are definitely like first picks or bans, if you could ban them. So like, I think those two will definitely get picked. I think Caesar will get picked for the memes, and the other one I'm not sure. Zhao should be before John. Let's talk about Zhao, because Zhao... Let's talk about how easy Zhao is to counter. Because if you and your... Okay, Zhao is better on a continents and islands map. Also, Moy's here. Hello, hello, Moy. For those of you not aware, Moy is part of the Civ show and does a lot of the work on the Civ Give. And we love Moy. So hello, Moy. Oh, Zhao should be before John alphabetically. Okay, I didn't even see that. Everyone say hi, Moy. All units receive +1 sight. Not gonna lie, fantastic stuff. Trade route capacity when a civilization is met. That's so good in this map because it's 11 other people. So good because there's 11. So you're getting 11 free trade routes. That's incredible. I think Zhao gets busted on this map. International trade routes must originate from a coastal city and can only reach cities on the coast or with a harbor. But I think, though, on a continents and islands map, what are the odds that your ally has at least, your teammate has at least one city? And I think it's super likely your ally spawns next to you, because I think any map that the spectators see where you and your ally are on opposite sides of the map, they might just say like, oh, you're just going to get bullied by the teams in between you. Not to say that you won't end up spawning really far away, but I think it's more likely than not that you're next to your teammate. And it's more likely than not that they have at least one coastal city. Yeah, I think Zhao is in that band tier. The nows are good. And you can use the Fatorias for your teammate. Zhao's busted as hell. Yeah. Zhao is nuts. Zhao is uncontrollable on this map with a teammate. Man, 12 bans really ruins the fun, I think. Oh. Because you really just want to see someone pop off as Zhao. Oh, man, okay. Zhao is busted. He's bannable. He's absolutely bannable. You gotta do it. Okay, moving on. What's next? Christina! I think Christina is great on a map like this. Or not on a map like this, but with a teammate. Buildings with at least 3 great work slots and wonders with at least 2 great work slots are automatically themed. I think that's really, really helpful. Queen's Bibliothek is fantastic. Let's take a look at that. A building unique to Sweden. 2 slots, writing, music, any type of art. Awards +1 governor title. We like that. Open air museums are great. I think it might be hard to settle on all the different types of map, though. Having all this Diplo favor to rig the votes for your team can be really helpful, though. Right? She's going to get a lot of Diplo favor. Yeah, all good, Moy. No worries. I think she's great as a teammate. But she can also work against herself. If you're not ahead and you're using all these World Congress competitions and stuff and you're not winning them, second or third pick. I certainly don't care, but second or third pick. All right. Kublai Khan. Here's the problem with this. 1 extra economic policy slot in any government is really good. Receive a random boost in Eureka, or Eureka and Inspiration, when establishing a trading post in another Civ city for the first time. They will be at the end, Nullrog, when I kind of explain how they factor in depending on how they might work. So yeah, we'll talk about them at the end, because there's no world in which we're allowed to ban them, which makes them interesting because they can't be banned. And so in summary, I think Aben and Zynga are definitely in the pick tier. They're both fantastic. I think someone will pick Julius Caesar in their pool just for the memes. So yeah, I think 3 of the 4 of them are going to get snagged up. But they can't be banned, so yeah. I mean, that's my assessment. I would pick 3 of them. 2 of them in the first pick tier, 1 of them in the second or third pick tier. All right, here's the problem with this. By the time you get to the end game, all this, like, getting these early boosts is less helpful. So you kind of want to hold off these trade routes to establish trading posts later. But if you establish them later, all these cities already have trading posts. And so it's just not good. Eureka's and Inspirations provide 50% instead of 40%. Fine. When completing a wonder, which is harder to do with 12 players on a map, all fighting for the wonders. Here's what I think will happen, Art. I think if someone picks Abe, and Abe gets into the game, we can just ask someone at Firaxis, probably Carl, if the switching of the buildings is an exploit or not. Like, we can just always... Like, we're not all unreasonable people. We can all just say between ourselves, like, okay, you can pick Abe, but you have, if you're just gonna switch power to build melee units, that's not in the spirit of the thing, so you just have to delete those units. I think is a fair thing to say. Right? Because I think Abe is really good without that. I think Abe is just really good when you get a melee unit. I think Abe is just really good when you get a melee unit from the buildings. And I think everyone can just get together. Kind of like how there's this unwritten rule where it's like, don't murder someone on turn 10 so they have a chance to like get in the game. Like, I just think everyone understands like not to be a jerk. I think if you're playing Abe, you just know not to be a jerk. Like, don't one turn like I just think people know not to be a jerk. Right, and I think that falls under there. If you're building 1 million free units through an exploit in the game, everyone will just kind of be like, man, this is like a fun charity event. Why are you being a jerk? And I think everyone just knows not to be a jerk. So I think it's fine. I wouldn't worry about that. People are reasonable. It's not like $1 million prize for winning the game, so every exploit matters. It's like, you just gotta have fun. And I think it's fine. Thanks for the bits, man. Appreciate it. All right. I don't care. Look, I don't care about either Kublai Khan. I'm sorry. They can be good or not good. I don't care. Kublai with Hammer, but yeah, you just don't know because we don't find out our teammates till after the draft, which is, I think, a more fun way to do it, right? I think it's fun after the draft to then have a pool of 6 for your team, right? Where it's just kind of, yeah. So I think that's super fun, but it means that you can't really, like, if it's good for a team, it has to be good for any team, and there's really no guarantee. Like, I think Hammurabi gets banned, and then if it doesn't get banned, the chances of me being on a team with the player that picked it, and then the chances of Kublai Khan, like, by the time you get down the thing, you can't bank on that. So, all right. Look, here's my thoughts about Kupe. And these are just my personal thoughts. I personally think 12 bans is too many, and it gets rid of too many of the fun civs. So I think some people will ban, like me banning French Eleanor, to just keep more of the really fun civs in the game. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Who's subbing? PB!
This is where the fun begins.
But someone is going to ban Kupe. Not for any other reason. Not for how good Kupe is. I promise you this. I will ban Kupe. Like, I think last year we just learned that Kupe just absolutely derails a game. And also, the person you'll be coming to mess up is your teammate. Because you'll spawn in the ocean. You'll see where the land your teammate... Yeah. Kupe's banned, but don't pick it. Yeah, like, Kupe's gone. It doesn't matter how good he is or how bad he is. He's just too much chaos, and like, you'll just be ruining the game for your own teammate. What if everyone thinks the next person will ban Kupe? That's fine. If I'm the first ban, I'm banning Kupe. Like, I just think if it, like, I just don't want to risk it. So I'm just, yeah, there's no way it doesn't get banned. Yeah, I think there's enough people that have Kupe trauma that it's getting banned. Okay. Maya, I think, depending on, so like the map is just like a normal size map. But what's great about Maya is, again, statistically, I think it's likely that you'll be next to your teammate. Just because if you're not, if you're not next to your teammate, the likelihood that the map is just deemed like unfair and gets re-rolled is higher. Not impossible, but higher. So I think it's likely that you're next to your teammate. Your teammate can help buffer you for the cities you need next to your capital, which I think Maya on a team, right, is better, because I think it's more likely that your teammate can help you get the cities that you need to really get powered on. Right. Now, it depends on how you spawn. Like, if you spawn teammate A, teammate B, and then the other team is here, going forward, you're still going to have trouble. But if you spawn as the back civ in like a team, it's very good. Non-capital cities within 6 tiles of the capital gain 10% to all yields, which is great. She's really good at defense. She's a great teammate for the hull chase. Time to smoke. Thank you so much for the 6 months. I appreciate you. Thank you. That's another $1 going to Gamers Outreach. Guys, we've already raised $720 for Gamers Outreach, which is fantastic. Y'all are killing it. I think it's almost $100. Almost $100 from the merch sales to spend at the draft this weekend. So that's another $100 that'll be going to Gamers Outreach from the merch this weekend, which is awesome. Which is like, what, 2 steals or something? It's worth it. So we're killing it. And then where are we at? Every sub and gifted sub is $1 that I'm donating too. So it's going to be great. We're doing great. Y'all are killing it. All right. Settling adjacent to freshwater and coast does not provide extra housing. Instead of each farm provides... I think your teammate can just really help with this. And there's abundant resources on the map. So I don't think you're going to be starving for resources. Observatory is fine. Especially with those resources and hull chase. Hull chase like help you and your teammate. So you can just help your teammate defend early game. I think Maya... I don't know if I ban Maya. I think there's enough risk with Maya that you don't need to ban her. But I think she's a first pick. I think you can safely first pick Maya. Like if you gave me the choice between Cleopatra gets picked in a teamers game for the trade route. You and your teammate can just trade with each other and just infinitely scale that, which is amazing. Yeah, that's true. That's true, PB. But this isn't a science, right? Like, it's hard to know because you don't know what other people are going to do. I just thinking, is there a world? Like, is there a world in which I first pick Harold? No, there's not. Is there a world in which I first pick Maya? Yes, and I don't think I'll ban her. I think there's a way the draft goes where my first pick ends up being Maya, depending on everything else. So I think that's fine there. I don't think I'll ban Maya. All right. Who is next? Oh, it's just next in the list. You can just look here. Lautaro is interesting. I don't know. 10 combat strength and fighting free cities or civs that are in a golden or heroic age. Which is great. We like that. There'll be enough. Like, we're playing with a team of good civ players. Right? This game is full of great civ players. There'll be some golden ages. Defeating an enemy unit within the borders of an enemy city causes the city to lose 20 loyalty. And 40 loyalty if that civ is in a heroic or golden age. That's not helpful at all. Because if they're in a golden or heroic age, like, you're not flipping them usually. I don't think that part is that helpful, but I think the combat strength, because I think there'll be a lot of golden ages. Tokwi. Cities with an established governor get 5% culture, 5% production, and 10% experience in combat towards all units trained. Fantastic for a multiplayer game. These numbers are tripled in cities not founded by the Mapuche. Great, good stuff. All cities within 9 tiles of a city with your governor gain 4 loyalty per turn. Fantastic. Chemimals are great. We like chemimals. Malon Raiders, Renaissance era unit, +5 combat strength bonus within 4 hexes of friendly territory. Pillaging costs 1 movement. I think this is in that first pick tier. Again, like I mentioned, because theoretically, that is true. Losing the loyalty minuses the production. That is true. I'm just thinking of like long-term gaining it back. Like, I just don't think that's the best part of Mapuche. But you are right, Moy. There's more to it than I'm making it sound. I think Mapuche's here. Like I mentioned, if we don't have 12 people up here naturally, we have to move people up to get to 12. Now, I'm 100% sure people will ban silly things like Eleanor and Kupe. Right, and so you won't end up banning 12 of the best civs. But we do need to get to 12 here for a tier list that makes any kind of sense. We'll move him up if we need to at the end. But I'm not banning him before I'm banning these civs. Although, maybe I would ban him before Japan. Maybe you're right. Yeah, I was when I got the Germany and Dido both times, I was like, Dido is even more busted on a teamers game. Hammurabi's busted on a teamers game too. All right. Lautaro done. Mansa Musa, it kind of all depends on whether you get the desert. And on a continents and islands map, it's not as ideal. What are the... One second here. I'm morally certain the map is not a hot map. I could be wrong. but I do want to double check. I'm actually not going to open Discord on my computer in case it accidentally pops up on my screen. All right. Let's go. Standard map type. Yeah. I think there'll be enough desert. And I think unless Nubia gets picked as well, I think you're pretty likely to get, if you get Mansa Musa, you're pretty likely to get the desert anyway. Trade routes game 1. See, anything with international trade routes is so good in a team game because you can trade with your teammate. Cleo gets busted for that. International trade routes game 1 gold for every flat desert tile in the origin city. Like, you're just immediately trading with your teammate. Receive +1 trade capacity every time you enter a golden age. Lovely. City centers gain 1 faith and 1 food for every adjacent desert and desert hills tiles. Mine receive. The other thing too is if you pick Mansa Musa and you don't have a lot of desert, like they'll just re-roll the map. So yeah, you'll end up with enough desert at least for 1 or 2 cities. So that's fine. You just get all the gold. The Sugubas give you all the gold. Do you ban Mali? I don't think you ban Mali. It's what I'm saying though, PB, is I think it's statistically likely that you'll get put next to your teammate. Because I think if you roll a map where you and your teammate are like yeeted off to different sides of the map, and like the team right next to you is like 2 military civs, like, yeah, I just don't know. And again, it's not my business. I'm not the spectator, right? Like the spectators will just have to make a judgment call. But I think there's quite a few different versions of a map where teammates are too far apart with like a weird map thing where it gets re-rolled. Because that's something, right? If that makes sense. I think it's statistically likely that you'll be close enough to your teammate. Although not impossible. I do want to say, like, I acknowledge there's a world in which you are on opposite sides of the map and the map is completely fair. But I think it's more likely than not that you're next to your teammate. Yeah. No, I'm not disagreeing, boy. Like, I'm acknowledging there's a world in which you and your teammate are yeeted off the map. I'm just trying to find a statistic. Like, I'm just trying, like, yeah, I just have to pick a thing, and I think it's more likely than not that you'll be next to your teammate. But it is certainly not impossible that you won't be. And there's like a million other reasons to re-roll a map aside from that, right? So like if you're not next to your teammate, but someone got spawned in the tundra and they're playing as Mansa Musa or whatever, and you know what I mean? Like yeah, I think it's fine. I think you're more likely to be next to your teammate. Gold bonus for each adjacent holy site, that's great. Gold bonus from a tile containing a river edge, great too. Gold bonus for every 2 adjacent districts, fantastic. We like all this stuff. Yeah, I don't think I'm banning Mansa Musa. I think there is a little too much. I think there's a little too much map weirdness going on. But he might be a first pick. No, I don't think so. I don't think it's necessary, Secret Chief. Because the other thing too is like you're never going to get a map that everyone's happy with for a variety of reasons. Right? And so I think just having a teammate in general really helps mitigate bad maps. Right? Like just having a teammate. Yeah, I'm not worried about the map at all. And I'm totally prepared to not be next to my teammate. I'm just trying to find like in my brain a statistic. I say like 60% chance. So let's go first pick for Mansa Musa. I think he's first pickable. And I think like getting enough desert to use him is like definitely something that spectators will be looking out for. Now that amount of desert can vary widely, but I think if Mansa Musa spawns on like a grassland floodplain, that map gets re-rolled. So I think he's great. All right, moving on. Matthias, good at one thing. Good at one thing, but I don't want this screen. All right, levied units. So without better balanced start, the city-states are going to be spawning kind of in the middle of the maps and not to the outskirts. So you will be finding city-states pretty early on. Levied units gain an ability giving them 2 movement and 5 combat strength. The other thing too is on teamers, the first city-state meets don't matter. You don't get the bonus for them unless they patch that. So when you're on a team and you meet a city-state for the first time, you don't get the +1 whatever. At least in my experience, because I don't know if that's been patched. So I think it's fine. Levied units gain an ability giving them 2 movement and 5 combat strength. That's great. 75% less golden resources to upgrade levy units. If you levy troops from a city-state, receive 2 envoys with that city-state. I think this is all great stuff. Keeps the city-states away from the other people. I think there's going to be lots of auto wars declared, so I think this is good. 50% production to districts and buildings constructed across a river from a city center. Obviously great because you want to be settling on rivers, so I don't know why this wouldn't be fantastic. Thermal bath, building each to Hungary, 2 amenities, 2 production. To each city square within 6 tiles. Amenities are hard to find. You will be able to, if you and your teammate are on different continents, you'll be able to trade amenities with each other, which might be nice. 3 tourism, 2 additional amenities. There's this 1 geothermal fissure. That seems likely enough. Hussars, 3 combat strength that replaces cavalry, black army, medieval area that replaces the courser. I like Hungary. I don't think he's blowing the world away. I think he's great on a team. I think he's a 2nd or 3rd pick for me. I don't think I'm first picking him. And this is, again, just for me. Other people might first pick him. Some people might even ban him. Not me, though. I might pick him. I think he's very strong. And I think he might be better than this, but... yeah, 3rd pick, then that sounds about right. All right, next up, Menelik. Receive science and culture equal to 15% of your faith generation in cities founded on hills. Having a teammate, again, next to you helps you because they can kind of help make sure you get the good hill settles if you need them. Units receive 4 combat strength on hills is interesting enough. Although I don't believe it's a New World map. And so less, like, just the ordinary amount of hills. And so there won't be a map teeming with hills. So got to keep that in mind. There's still enough, like, standard maps still have lots of hills, though. So that's okay. Ethiopia's international traders grant 5 faith per resource at the origin. Improved resources provide faith for each copy of the city owns. Can purchase archaeological museum and archaeologists with faith is interesting. Yeah, standard age map. All good with me. You just got to keep it in mind when you're discussing, like, how if you need hills to do a thing, and just New World has more hills than standard, you just got to do the math. Yeah, you're not wrong, Secret Chief. You're not wrong. But again, you and your teammate, yeah, I just think there's enough there. I think there's enough there for Matthias to be a 2nd or 3rd pick. Oromo Cavalry. Medieval era. The earlier your unique unit is, I think the better. Stronger and greater than the courser that it replaces. Receives no movement penalty for moving on hills. That's very powerful. Rock-hewn Church. Faith and faith for every adjacent mountain or hill style. Now, without heroes, there's not a ton to spend your faith on. And with 12 other civs in the game, the odds that everyone else, or that somebody else will have a lot of faith gen to be buying great people is also likely. Am I missing something? Because you get the science and culture for your faith generation. So all of this faith generation is good anyway. But you can't team that up with secret societies, and you can't team that up with heroes, which I think is both fantastic. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah, monumentality too. You have 3 chances to get monumentality. The odds that you'll get one of them is likely. 2nd or 3rd pick for me. Might be up here. I don't think I'm banning him. I'm not familiar with him either. Like, I don't know if I want to play him. Right? Part of it's familiarity. I've not played Menelik enough to be comfortable. And so maybe he's better than this, and I'm just not comfortable on him. Yeah. I'm super pro no secret societies and heroes, though. Because they just kind of break the game a little bit. All right. Let's go Montezuma. Menelik is S tier for you. Make your case, AOC is cool. Make your case. Make your case, and I'll do the next one. You make your case. I'll do Montezuma, and then I'll get back. Montezuma. Luxury resources in his territory. Abundant resources is great. Secret Chief, thanks for the follow. All right. Luxury resources in his territory provide an amenity to 2 extra cities. That's quite good. Because there's going to be lots of those. Military units receive +1 combat strength when attacking for each different luxury resource. Improved in Aztec lands. Assuming that'll be around 4 early on. Right? Like, I don't want to assume that'll be more than just what's on the continent. But that's fantastic. Busted monumentality, insane culture scaling, incentive to ad production. Fair. Part of it's comfortability, though. And I've never really played Menelik. Spend builder charges to complete 20% of the original district cost. That's interesting. Could be good. Eagle warriors are fantastic. We like eagle warriors. The only problem is we won't be early warring other civs because just being a nice person is a cool thing to do in a charity match. So, like, that's less good. Ability unique to Aztecs, 2 amenities, 2 culture, 2 faith, and a great general point. 1+ tourism after... Is the Civ Give going to have any of the additions like secret societies? What is BC? Definitely not Apocalypse. Definitely not Barbarian Clans. I don't think it's having any of the game modes. I could be wrong. But I don't think so. Anyways, Montezuma. Do I care? I think no game modes is my preferred option. I'll play whatever. I don't actually care that much. Yeah, I think second or third for Montezuma. All right. Congo's up, Movember. May not build holy site districts. I kind of like that it simplifies things. You don't got to worry. Having a whole district you don't got to worry about can be very helpful in a game. Now, here's the thing too. And I have no idea how practically it's going to work, but without any mods other than the spectator mod, I believe that means we can't have a turn timer. Am I wrong on that? Like, if I go and make a multiplayer game, so you won't... Ideally, people will still take their turns quickly. But if I go and make a multiplayer game, can I add a turn timer? Is it, like, built in? Oh, it's built in. Never mind. It's built in. Don't listen to me. Turn timers are built in with the game. That's my bad. So you still have a turn timer. Never mind. Cool. All right. Gains all beliefs of any religion that has established itself. Now, you could team this up with a teammate who has a religion potentially, so that's fine. Don't hate that. Receive as an apostle each time he finishes an Mbanza or Theater Square district. I think that's just a fun little bit of chaos. I'm happy with that. 2 food, 2 production, 1 faith, and 4 goals from each relic, artifact, and sculpture. I don't know how you're getting those relics, though. I don't know how you're getting those relics. Artifacts and sculptures you can get. Well, sculptures are a little bit iffy, but artifacts you can definitely at least go towards. Receive 50% more great artist, great musician, great merchant points. I just think there's the odds that there's someone else doing that in the game, like Pericles or something, is high enough that you won't be able to get them. The Ngao and Beba is a pretty good unit, but not like game busting. The Mbanza is really good. Do I care? I don't think I care. Especially if we're like, yeah, I don't think I care. I won't be. I don't think I care. I mean, yeah, I don't care. Pachacuti, I kind of want to just ban Pachacuti because I know White Nerdy's going to want Pachacuti. I know White Nerdy's going to want Pachacuti for his preserves. So, anyways, domestic trade routes gain +1 food for every mountain tile in the origin city, which is great. Chapak non-improvement for when foreign trade civic is discovered. That should be easy enough because it's likely that if you and your teammates spawn, one of you will be seeing a different continent, so that's cool. Citizens can work mountain tiles. I think Pachacuti's amazing. Being able to work mountain tiles, just having tiles on the map that aren't useless is super great. 2 production and additional +1 production when the game reaches the industrial era. +1 food to mountain tiles for every adjacent terrace farm. Terrace farms are busted as hell. We love a terrace farm. Do you ban it? He's certainly a potential first pick. He's certainly a potential first pick, but is he bannable? I don't think he's as bannable as some of these civs. I think he might get banned. I wouldn't be surprised if someone did ban him, but I think he's less bannable than lots of these people. I think he's a first pick. Terrace farms are very, 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 very good. Very good. Every time I play Pachacuti or see someone play him, I'm like, holy terrace farms are busted. So yeah, Brazil. Don't forget, everyone, during this stream, just because we're not playing Civ doesn't mean we're not raising money for the Civ Give, ! Civ Give, donate in the chat to get some dollars over to Gamers Outreach. We're at 720 right now. That's 7% of our goal. I'd love to get to 1,000 by the draft, by the end of the draft, at least on the weekend. Sorry, it's Civ Give, donate, Moy, instead of just regular. ! Donate is kind of permanently done by stream elements. Yeah, it's Civ Give, donate in the chat. There's also merch. Get your merch. I'm gonna do a quick merch plug. I don't think y'all have seen the merch on the website this stream. Here's the merch. If you go to vbmerch.com, there's merch here. All of this Civ Give merch, all of the proceeds from the merch, it's about half. So if you pay like $24.95 for a shirt, about $12.50 of that is going to Gamers Outreach, which is fantastic. We have Team VB stuff, which is what I'm wearing right now. If you're rooting for me, if you just want general merch, it's all there for you. What's cool is because I'm live, you can even gift merch. So if you gift merch, it automatically starts a giveaway in the chat, and then someone can win the giveaway, plug in their size and their address, and they get the merch sent to them, which is fantastic. So you don't even need to buy it for yourself. You can buy it for other people. And some people, like myself, like getting a little bit of merch with their donations. So now you can donate and get merch. So it's great. Anyways, back to the action. Where's Brazil? Pedro! Yeah, no, I'm with Peppermint Butler. I just think Pachacuti is fantastic. I think they ship. I think they ship to Europe. I think they have a. One sec. I'm very confident they make the merch in Europe and North America. Fourth wall shipping. FAQ. Do you ship internationally? Yes. Fourth wall works with manufacturing partners in the US, UK, European Union, and Australia. So yeah. So it just picks. So if you're in North America, it comes from the US. If you're in the UK, it comes from the UK. If you're in the European Union or anywhere else in Europe, it comes from the EU. And then if you're in Australia, it comes from Australia. I guess New Zealand would also come from Australia. Anyways, Pedro, after recruiting or patronizing a great person, 20% of its great person cost is refunded. That can be really good if you have like one great person you're going towards. Rainforest tiles provide +1 adjacency bonus for campus, commercial, hub, holy site, and theater square districts, and grant 1 appeal to adjacent tiles instead of the usual -1. I don't care about this boat at all. Street Carnival, a district unique to Brazil, replaces the entertainment complex. 2 amenities. Carnival project with grants an additional 1 amenity when underway, and a variety of great person points once completed. I like that. Copacabana, a district unique to Brazil, replaces the water park district and provides +2 amenities. Also unlocks the Carnival project, which grants an additional amenity when under... Oh, I've already talked about this. Okay. What do we feel about Brazil? I don't know how to feel about Brazil. Smart people in chat, how are you feeling about Brazil? I'm just taking your opinion on this one because I don't know. I don't know anything. I've only played Brazil like 1 time. Rarely play him. Very spawn dependent. I think I don't care. I think he's better than that, but I don't think I want to play him because I don't know how to play him. Wet map does equal more jungle. You are right. I don't think I care. Pericles is certainly bannable. I played Pericles in the first Civ Give, and it was great. Onspot played Pericles last Civ Give, and it was great. Pericles is just very good. +5% culture per city-state you're the suzerain of. Now, being the suzerain of a city-state in a real-person game is harder than at the AI, but it's still like probably 10 or 15% if you're trying hard. Extra wildcard policy slot is always fantastic, and flexibility in a multiplayer game is important. Hoplites are fine, and having adjacent hoplites are really good. And the Acropolis is very, very good. A district needs degrees for cultural sites, replaces the theater square district, it's cheaper to build, gets 1 envoy when completed. Culture bonus for each adjacent district, and an additional 1 culture bonus for the adjacent city center. Can only be built on hills. Yeah, I think he's banner first pick. I think he's great. Ban or first pick? Russia! I mean, I think he's also banner first pick, but let's talk about Russia. Receive science or culture from trade routes to civilizations that are more advanced than Russia. He's a ban first? Yeah, I think so. +1 per 3 technologies or civics ahead. I don't know how much I care about this, but it's nice. Extra territory upon founding cities. This is important because math is a thing. There are only so many tiles on a map. When you spawn into a map, there are a certain amount of tiles, and taking more of the tiles for free is worth having, regardless of what you can do with those tiles, because it means you're taking them away from others. Right? Every tile you take creates a delta with everyone else in the game of tiles they can no longer have. So I think that's important. Extra territory upon founding cities, +1 faith and +1 production from tundra. That's the other thing too. There's not a lot of tundra civs, so you get priority on the tundra. You get priority on the tundra. No blizzard damage, even better. Civs that are at war with Russia receive 100% unit damage from blizzards in Russian territory. That's bizarre, but okay. Cossacks are fine. Lavras are OP as hell. I think he's banner first pick. Have we got to 12 yet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We got to 11. And that doesn't even include Kupe. So we know one of these people will be available. Because even if all, like, 11 of these get banned plus Kupe, we'll assume we're going to add one more here. All right. Cool. Philip. I think Philip needs the right spawn, but can be absolutely fantastic. Inquisitors can remove heresy 1 extra time. Inquisitors, I'm not as focused on the religious stuff. It's good, but I'm not as focused on it. May form fleets and armadas with mercantilism huge on a continent's and islands map instead of nationalism and mobilization. Trade routes receive 3 gold, 2 faith, and 1 production. Trade routes between multiple continents receive triple these numbers. This is nuts. And again, even if you're not on a continent, statistically speaking, your teammate, if they're near you, one of the two of you will likely at least see another continent to settle a city on, where you can just trade back from. Or if your teammate's on the other side of the map, you'll be able to trade ideally with another continent eventually. I think Philip's great. 25% production towards districts in a builder when founded if they're not on your capital's continent is great. Missions are great as well. I think first pick's about right. I mean, I don't want to ban Spain. Look, I don't want to ban Spain. I want him to be in the game for somebody. I want him to be in the game for somebody. I don't want to ban Spain. All right, we are rooting, tooting through this. Having a great time. All right. Poundmaker. All alliance types provide shared visibility. Your outgoing traders grant 1 food to Poundmaker per camp or pasture at the destination. Trade routes sent to your cities grant +1 gold to Poundmaker per camp or pasture. Interesting.
We have a Civ
Whoa!
Give donation.
Bales with another 40 bucks. Where is it? Hell yeah, brother. That's right. That's how I feel about that. Hell yeah, brother. 40 bucks going to Gamers Outreach. Let's talk about Gamers Outreach for a second. Look. I haven't even plugged them on the stream yet either. No shame in plugging the charity. Here is Gamers Outreach. If you were not convinced that they're an amazing cause to donate money to, we believe the world is better when hospitalized kids can play. Gamers, that's us, have the power to help. Join our community of monthly donors providing games to hospitalized kids. They build these carts and they take these carts to children's hospitals. And then in the children's hospitals, the kids can game with their friends, with their family, with people who work at the hospital. They can stay connected. Look at this. Look at how, like, isn't this just the best? Being in the hospital can be scary and isolating. Games give kids access to adventure and opportunities to socialize. Sometimes healthcare staff even use, there's no better thing. This is just amazing and wholesome and awesome. So if you're wondering, where's my money going? To this. To children's hospitals. Look at all of them. It's incredible. Anyways, I'm gonna put this link in the chat. And now we're back to the action. Cool. I don't know if I care about Poundmaker. Second or third pick. Having ancient era scout units is great. Mechie Wops can be quite good. Production and any kind of one housing thing is always good. +1 gold if adjacent to a luxury resource. For every 2 adjacent bonus resources. That's difficult to get. Yeah. I don't need to talk about him anymore. He's second or third pick. China is interesting. Because I don't really want to play him, but he's kind of memeably fun for the wonder building. And in a competitive wonder game with 12 players, man, you know what'd be fun? One of my favorite mechanics in humankind is the ability to kind of pick a wonder. I don't think with 12 players you couldn't do it. With 12 players you couldn't do it. Or with teams, maybe. Oh, man. A wonder draft would be sick. A wonder draft would be so fun. Like how it works in humankind. Where, like, each team drafts wonders. So, like, once your team drafts a wonder, they're the only team that can build that wonder. Would be hilarious. Oh, man. That would add just such a weird twist to the game. All right, China. We're going to talk about China. Where we have to compete with all these wonders early on. Where is China? Down in Q. Here we go. When building ancient and classical wonders, you may spend builder charges to complete 15% of the original wonder. Now, this can be quite good. What I do want to say is wonder availability isn't guaranteed. Pyramids need a flatline desert tile, for instance. Maybe you don't have it, right? So, like, the wonder availability isn't guaranteed for ancient and classical ones. And even then, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to go for them, and a lot of people with that availability. There's probably going to be at least 2 or 3 people with a desert tile for the pyramids, at least 2 or 3 people on a floodplains for Great Bath, right? So, like, just getting all these wonders is very, very, very difficult. And then you're not using your builder charges for other things that are important, like farms and mines and resources and stuff, right? And so I don't think this is quite as good. Poundmaker, Dreambreaker, Love Taker. That sounds like the beginning of a rock song. Sounds like it could be a Def Leppard tune. Dynastic Cycle. Eurekas and Inspirations provide 50% instead of 40%. That's not nothing. When completing a wonder. Now, this is great if you compare it with Babylon, who is going to get banned. When completing a wonder, receive a random Eureka and Inspiration from the era of the wonder if available. Interesting. That's fun. Crouching Tigers are fine. The Great Wall is difficult. I don't care. Look, I don't care about China. Other people might care. I don't care. Bye. Sorry. That got mean at the end, but other people might care. I don't. Okay. Am I allowed to... Okay, no one can pick Scotland. Except for me if I'm on a team with Boethius. Or except for anyone if they're on a team with Boethius. So he has to listen to the Scotland soundtrack for the entire Civ Give. Can we make that a rule? Can we all get together and be like, no one picks Scotland. And then at the end, whoever's on a team with Boethius after the entire draft, we just give them Scotland so Bose has to listen to the soundtrack. They can just have a 4th person in their pool. Because that's hilarious. Can declare a war of liberation after gaining the defensive tactics civics. Plus 100% production and 2 movement for the first 10 turns after declaring a war of liberation. Happy cities receive an additional 5% science. I think it's easier with a teammate to keep your cities happy because you can always trade luxuries with somebody. Assuming you have different luxuries might be a problem, but it's at least an option. 5% science and production. Happy cities generate great scientist point per campus and great engineer point per industrial zone. Ecstatic cities double these amounts. Highlander is fine. Golf course is fun. 2 amenities, 2 gold, 1 culture if adjacent to a city center district, and 1 culture if adjacent to an entertainment complex. I don't like Scotland that much, but I want to see him be played. Second or third pick. Not Sultan Saladin. Vizier Saladin. Righteousness of the Faith. The warship building for their religion can be purchased by any player for just 1/10 of the usual faith cost. This warship building is enhanced to add 10% to the science, faith, and culture output of Arabian cities. That's good. And with a teammate to spread religion to get those buildings, that can be good. Automatically receive the last great profit when next to last one is claimed. That's really good. Love that. My only problem with religion in a game with a turn timer, which you'll absolutely need for something like the Civ Give, is that you have all these units to micromanage. It's the same with going to war. I think religion's a little bit harder with a turn timer. +1 science for each 4, and religion's hard to spread because they can just kill your units, which is a separate problem. Yeah. I don't know if I care. I don't know if I care about Saladin. Sorry, Saladin. Korea is interesting. Governors established in a city provide 3% culture and science for each promotion they have earned. This could be quite good. Especially like Pingala stacking. That can be fun. Mines receive +1 science for every adjacent CO1 district. Farms receive +1 food for every adjacent CO1 district. Love that for us. The CO1, a district unique to Korea for scientific endeavors, replaces the campus for +4 science. -1 science for every adjacent district tile. So you want to put it on its own. Must be built on hills, no problem. Hwacha is just a good field cannon replacement. I think Korea is a first pick. I don't think we're banning Korea. But I think we might first pick Korea. Shaka. Oh, okay. Shaka is a second or third pick. For sure. But Shaka is just super fun. Early cores and armies are great. The additional combat strength to the cores and armies is great. MPs are super fun. Early encampments for those great generals are super fun. By the time you get these up and running, you're well within your allowed war limit. Like, I think once you're in the classical era, you're allowed to go to war. Now, keep in mind, when we do go to war, it's very mean to, like, completely eliminate a person. Right? And so, like, you're not going to, like, steamroll someone and just ruin their, like, take all their cities and eliminate them completely from the game. Which does lower Shaka's impact a little bit. Although I do wonder if late enough in the game that is fair. Like, I think maybe, like, is there a point where someone just gets completely eliminated and that's just a game of Civ? Probably. I would be cool with that, because then you can spectate. I'd love to spectate at some. Like, if I got truly eliminated, I think it's all about how much fun you make it, right? Like, if you make getting eliminated fun, people will find it fun. So I think there's a world in, like, the industrial to modern era where you can get fully eliminated. Or else, like, domination victory does have to be an achievable victory. So yeah, I think Shaka... Yeah, I think there is a world in which it is fair to completely eliminate someone late enough in the game. And I think people should embrace that. And make that fun for their communities. So I think second or third pick. I don't know if I want to first pick Shaka. But I definitely want Shaka in my 3-person team. Simon Bolivar, though, I think is overall just a little bit better. Automatically earn one of their Commandante Generals when a game enters a new era. That's going to happen, so that's fine. Movement to all units. Nuts. Bonkers good. Promoting a unit does not end that unit's turn. Also bonkers good. The generals are fantastic. Unique abilities, passive effects, retire effects. Generos are incredibly good. Haciendas are amazing. 2 gold, 1 production, and 0.5 housing. +1 food for every 2 adjacent plantations. Increased to every plantation with replaceable parts. Yeah. Plantations and haciendas see +1 production for each 2 adjacent haciendas. I just think it's very good. Ban and don't pick. TGM, if you don't ban Kupe, I will. If I don't ban Kupe, you can. Someone's banning Kupe. I think Grand Columbia is good enough to be in the ban and pick if available. I think that's good. I think I like where he is. He's very, very good. Very, 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 very good. I think Portugal, I really want Portugal to be played on this map just to see how busted it can truly be. When you can give your kind of unique buildings to your teammate who you're trading with. I think that's crazy. All right. No, I don't want to ban Philip. I want Philip to be in the game. Suleiman. Exclusive unique governor. That's always fun. with military and diplomatic abilities. Gain the Janissary unit and the governor title in the gunpowder technologies research. Fair enough. 50% production awards siege units. All siege units gain +5 combat strength against district defenses. Conquered cities do not lose population. I think this is all great stuff on a team game. When you're going to war in a team, I think this is great. Cities founded by the Ottomans gain 1 amenity and 4 loyalty percent. Oh, moi. We had a question earlier, and I assume this has to be the case. But I just thought I'd double check. We're allowed in the game to be in a call with our teammate, right? Like we can do turn-by-turn teammate coordinating. I assume that's just like a natural aspect of having teams that you can communicate with them. But just because we've had communication rules in the past, I thought I'd double, triple check. I mean, either way, you can just type in the game. But I assumed you'd be able to chat with your teammate the whole game. Yeah, that's all good. Thanks, Moy. That is perfect. All right. Spirit of the game is to have everyone in the same call. Works for me. Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, no, I wasn't suggesting that like everyone is just in their own chat only with their teammate. So that's totally fine. Good stuff. Love that. Yeah, cool. No, that's all good. That's perfect. Appreciate you, Moy. Yeah, I think going for quick, like 10-second asides if you need to like just sort out something. I'm just trying to think about like, I'd like to be able to communicate like, hey, if we're fighting a city and I take it and it won't lose population, you know what I mean? Like, it's just good to communicate in the middle of a war. Those types of things. That's fine. Cool. A building unique to the Ottomans. Accumulate 1 extra strategic resource for every different type of strategic resource the city has. I like that. Amenity for luxury resource the city has improved. That's great. Man, how do I feel about this? Yeah, no, I want to be in the... I'm a chirper. I'm a chirper. I need to be in the main call most of the time. I was just wondering if we were allowed to like do like, yeah, quick little asides. To like just go over strategy briefly. And obviously typing is part of the game too. How do I feel about this? Because I feel this Civ is incredibly good as a teammate. Medieval era unique naval unit is very good too. No movement to coastal raid. I don't know if I first pick it. But I don't know if I third pick it. It's kind of in the middle of that second and third pick for me. But I think very, very good. You want him on your 3-person team for sure. Okay, moving on. Tamar. Oh, I think Tamar is the ultimate teammate. 2 people per team. 6 teams. 12 people total. Combat victories provide faith equal to 50% of the combat strength of the defeated unit on standard speed. So scaled down for online speed. Each envoy you send to a city-state of your majority religion counts as 2 envoys. That's a little risky. And again, I don't know if I like playing with a religion. Dude, I am stoked for the teams. I think the teams do 2 things for the Civ give. I think there's one obvious drawback, but I think there's 2 extreme positives to having teams. One is it really mitigates bad map spawns. It's very unlikely that as a team of 2 people combined, like as long as you both have average spawns, like I just think it really helps mitigate bad map spawns having a teammate. And I think the second thing it does is it just creates this hilarious, fun team strategy aspect to what is fundamentally a charity match. And if you are truly trying to find out like who is the best Civ player in a purely competitive sense, I think teams ruin that a little bit. And I think the team functionality in Civ is actually terrible. I think the team functionality in Civ is very poorly thought out and very poorly implemented compared to the potential of it. But in a game where you're trying to like have banter, have fun, raise money for charity, having teams just completely adds to that experience, which I think is fantastic. So I'm absolutely stoked to have a teammate. I'm absolutely stoked for that change. I think it's fantastic. But the team functionality in the next Civ game just needs to be better. Like, the fact that I can't move through my teammate's city center is bonkers. It is bonkers. It's absolutely positively nuts that I can't move through my team's city center. There are so many little things like that that I just can't believe actually exist. Yeah, I agree, Nalrog. But I just think for the type of match we're trying to have, where it is competitive to the point of having a fun charity match, the teams make that perfect. And they mitigate some bad map spawn issues that we had in the past. So no complaints here from me. Strength and Unity. When making dedications at the beginning of a golden or heroic age, receive the normal age bonus as well. I think being able to golden age, what's it called? Snowball is really good. I think the walls are very good. I think the walls are quite good. Lower production costs and higher outer defenses. Extra tourism as well. +4 faith when in a golden age, and the tourism and faith are 100%. Yeah. I'm into Tamar. I don't not care. I think Tamar's not great, but I don't not care. Second or third pick. Yeah, missing Sarge will be lame for Tamar, but that's okay. Bull Moose Teddy. Bull Moose Teddy is so good. So good. I think Bose will take him, but that's okay. Breathtaking tiles adjacent to either a natural wonder or a mountain receive +2 science. Breathtaking tiles adjacent to a wonder or woods receive +2 culture. All tiles in a city with a national park are +1 appeal. Just great. Here's the thing though, Peppermint Butler. Here's my thought on the bans. And I don't know if there's a better way to do it, but 12 bans I think is too many of the fun civs. Maybe not now if the new civs are kind of included but can't be banned. But so I do think like we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I already have come up with 12 bans, plus Eleanor for me, plus someone will ban Kupe, so it's 13, 14. If I add Bull Moose Teddy here, 15 people being banned. Even if 12 of these get banned, 3 of them are still available. So 3 of these are still available. So I think Bull Moose makes it through. Right? Like I like someone's got to make it through. You can't ban everyone. Like I do wonder how bonkers the game would be if each team got a ban. So you're only really getting rid of the 6 OP ones. Because then I think you have, yeah, man. I think Teddy is in the ban thing as well. But I don't think he actually gets banned. I think he gets put in the ban thing, but I don't think he actually gets banned. All diplomatic policy slots in the current government are converted to wildcard slots. +1 diplo favor per turn for every... And yeah, no, I know, Moy. And also people are going to chuck bans at fun things like French Eleanor, so... Like, you're not going to end up with the 12 most OP civs getting banned regardless. Can't ban Teddy on Thanksgiving. +1 diplomatic favor per turn for every wildcard slot in their government. Fantastic, yeah. I think Bull Moose Teddy is just great. I'll put him in first pick. I'm not going to ban Teddy. I'm not going to ban Teddy because I'm going to ban these folks before Teddy. So I'm not banning Teddy, so I'll first pick Teddy. That was easy. Rough Rider Teddy. Units receive +5 combat strength on their home continent. That's, I think, less good in a team game. Because I think statistically you're next to your teammate. Not all the time. Envoy sent to city-states, you have a trade route. 2 count as 2 envoys. Gain the Rough Rider unique unit with rifling. I think Founding Fathers is still great. I like how America gets 3 leaders before Canada even gets 2. Big ol' ripperino to Canada. Mustang is whatever. Although I think planes are better in a human game. I think fighters at least. Rough Rider, industrial area unit. Teddy Roosevelt is their leader. Replaces the cuirassiers. Cultures earned from kills in their cap. Yeah. I don't really care about this one. I'm certainly not playing Rough Rider Teddy, so I don't care. But I think he's probably here somewhere, but I don't really care. I don't personally care about Rough Rider Teddy. To be fair, for Axis is from the US. I know. And I'm aware. And I know America's a popular. I know. I know why they do it. I'm just saying. That we don't have 2 Canadian civs, but we got 3 American ones. What's up with that? Killer of Cyrus. That's funny. All units receive +5 combat strength when attacking wounded units. That's really good. When they eliminate a unit, they heal up to 30 hit points. That's also very, very good. Receive a second light cavalry unit or sack a horse archer each time you trait a light cavalry unit or sack a horse archer. That's very good. Sack a horse archers, classical era unit, range. Classical era is not as helpful in the Civ give, but that's fine. Extra range and movement is great. Unlocks the. This is a great team Civ. Kurgans, I care less about. Yeah, Kurgans, I don't care about. Second or third pick. Great to round out a team. I'm not first picking her though. Rome, banner pick, easy peasy. Let's talk about Rome is just so good in any game. All cities start with an additional city center building. That's nuts already. And then you get the roads, and then the legions are really good, and then the baths are really good. Yeah, I think there's a world in which I ban him. If you ran the simulation a million times, there's one where Van Bradley banned Rome. Rome is so good. I'll talk about the Civ Give leaders at the end. I will talk about the new leaders at the end. Don't worry, we're getting to them. Victoria! Victoria I want to see in this game. I might move Victoria up. I want to see Victoria played. Each time you found your first city on a continent other than your home continent, receive a free melee unit. Don't really care about that. Trade route capacity is fine. It's the Royal Navy dockyard on this map with the Sea Dogs. Royal Navy dockyard on a continents and islands map with the Sea Dogs is very good. Iron and coal mines getting extra resources you can share with your teammate, which can be really, really nice. Military engineers can be really nice. You can build railroads for you and your teammate later. They do other things as well. Finish flood barriers, dams, all kinds of things. Build, plane strips. The power and the production is so good. I'm not going to ban her, but I'm going to first pick her maybe. The redcoats I care a little less about, but the redcoats are in the mix. I might first pick her. Canada! Second or third pick. You want them in your game. I think there's enough tundra. There's enough tundra on the map, and it's likely Russia gets banned, so you kind of can take all the tundra. And I think farms on tundra and all that stuff is great. The extra food and production from all that stuff, mines and farms and tundra is great. I think Dido's better. Would you agree with that, PB? That if push came to shove in a team in the game we have set up with teams and everything, I think Dido's better. I think the settlers are worth so much, and the loyalty is worth so much as well. Vicky, I think Vicky's a first pick for sure. Cannot declare war on city-states or surprise wars. How does this work? Hold up. How does this work in a team? If I'm on a team with someone and they surprise war my teammate, I think this gets overridden by the game type. Oh, I think this might get overridden by the game type, which would really suck. I need clarification on how this ability works in a team game. I think you'll probably still be able to declare war on my teammate, which just puts me at war anyway. Oh, that kind of sucks. The hockey rink is nice. I think Zoe likes Canada. I mean, right, but what I'm saying is so the way it works in teams, Moy, is if you declare war on one member of the team, you declare war on everyone. So I think it just gets overridden. I'll test that out. Do I care about Canada? I don't think I do. And I don't think I want to play Canada. I think Zhao wants to play Canada. And I don't think Canada is bad, but is very map dependent. His abilities get muddled with the team thing. Second or third pick? Cheers, Moy. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. Everyone say bye to Moy. Does that link work? Give for the Civ give here. Oh, yeah, that link does work. All right, we're almost done. Get your donations in, everyone. How many people are here right now? 69 people here right now. Nice. Well, if any of the 69 of you want to donate to Gamers Outreach, ! Civ give donate in the chat or grab your merch. All right, Wilhelmina. I like Wilhelmina a lot. I would want to play Wilhelmina. Your trade routes to your own cities provide 2 loyalty per turn for the starting city. Trade routes to foreign cities or from foreign cities provide 2 culture to you. Your teammate counts, so that's great. Major adjacency bonuses for campuses, theater squares, industrial zones if next to a river. Great. Culture bomb adjacent tiles when completing a harbor. Great. 50% production awards the dam district and flood barrier. Great. I think having a unique boat on this kind of map and the Disaven Provinciens are great. So I'm happy with that. Unlocks the builder ability to construct a polder. I'm a fan of that. Can be built on a coast or lake tile. The problem is it needs to be adjacent to 3 or more passable land tiles. So I don't actually know how many polders you can build. Because it really depends on like the shape of the coast. But the major adjacency bonuses for the districts gives you like Japan vibes. And there will be lots of rivers. Cheers, PB. Thanks for hanging out. Second or third pick for me, but I would like her on my roster. I wouldn't mind her on my roster, but second or third pick for me. All right, that does it for the main civs. That does it for the main civs. We have our list. Thank you, everyone, for helping me make that list. That was super fun. Only took 2 hours to get through everyone, but that's perfect. Let's talk about the new leaders. So right now, I think what's going to happen is the new leaders are going to be in the pool. I could be wrong. This could change by the weekend, so don't hold me to this. But I think what's happening right now is that the new leaders will be in the pool, but you can't ban them. I think we all want to see at least one of the new leaders in the Civ Give, if possible. And so I think they're not bannable, but you can pick them. So I think what that means is they can't ban them. So I think you put Abe. I think Abe is in that first pick category, possibly. And I think Nzinga is in that first pick category, possibly, somewhere in here. Right? I think Caesar is in that second or third pick. I think he's just fun to play, and I think someone will pick him. I think Potato McWhiskey might pick him or something. Right? And I'm not sure about the other one. I'm not sure about the fourth one. But that's how I feel about the new leaders. Is I think that they'll be pickable but not bannable. And I think 3 of the 4 of them will get picked.